The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast.
Is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. Hosted by three BFFs, Daddy
The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast.
is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. Hosted by three BFFs, Daddy Do Wally, Chipotle Bear, and Bubble Boy and Seven.
And new intern, X Bacon Gamin'.
This is Cortana. And remember, don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it. As always, Spartans, see you online.
Oh, hello. Daddy Wally here, and welcome to The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. For once, we are starting right on time, Jose. It is a Nerd Chat miracle, Jose.
Is that what I'm supposed to do there? We never had a miracle before.
Joining
We're on the
me,
wrong
as
day, though, so.
always, is the official co-host. I don't know if you guys noticed, but if you were in the pre-lobby there, hanging out, chat popping off right before the show, Jose had the incredible little stream starting soon. A new, what would you call that?
Like
Title
a live
card?
stream card. Yeah.
Anyway, Jose joining the show as always. How are you, my friend?
I'm great, bud. It's been a great week. Started my first official week of summer break, which is great. We actually just got back. That's why we were a day late. I'm sorry, that was my fault. We went glamping with my family to this place called Jellystone, just outside of Larkspur, Colorado. It's like you can get a little cabin, and there's lots of stuff for kids to do. It is super fun. So that's where we've been. It's been great, man. It's been real rainy here still, though. Starting to get mushrooms in my grass. We need that to stop sometime soon. So other than that, I'm great, bud. Thank you.
Yeah, and joining us as always is the intern to the assistant
Janitor.
to the co-hosts. It's also still been raining here. It literally has been raining since our last show, and Bacon is getting flooded over there. X Bacon Gaming, how are you?
Gentlemen, our Denver Nuggets celebrated their victory in the streets.
Wait,
Only
whoa,
two
whoa,
people
whoa,
were
whoa! Wait, I
shot.
got to interrupt the assistant to the co-host
Only
right
two
away.
people
Right
were
now,
shot, and one cop ran over by a fire truck. That's a pretty
This is a
successful
SWAT
parade.
officer, right?
I did want to give a huge shout out to the Nuggets here in a second, but I do want to remind everyone, Bacon is a diehard Jazz fan, okay? So everybody laugh at him. The Jazz are never going to win a championship anytime soon, and he can ride on the bandwagon here in Denver, the city of champions. We just had the Major League Lacrosse championship. DU won an NCAA championship. The Avalanche won an NCAA championship. And the Nuggets are world champions, just won the finals. So pour one out for Bacon and his Utah Jazz, because who knows when they're going to be competing again. Am I right, Bacon?
Next year. I make no bones about it. Born and raised in Utah, I'm a Jazz fan first, Nuggets fan second. But I can equally be as happy as you guys.
Thank you, X Bacon Gaming, and joining us. He's back again, folks, after his wild predictions last week. And somehow I think he still won the predictions. Please welcome back Mr. M. Ken 10, aka Matt Kennedy. How are you?
Good, guys. Thanks for having me back. It's awesome to be here. If I won, that's a miracle. That's a miracle.
Matt, I gotta ask you really quick. Are you a sports fan at all? Do you have favorite teams and whatnot?
Yes,
Are
I
you
do.
a Jets fan like Mr.
All right.
Moriarty?
This is gonna get crazy here, guys, because I just realized that you're from Denver, and I'm a Yankees baseball fan.
Okay.
But growing up, I was a front runner Joe Montana fan, and when he was traded to those Kansas City Chiefs, I have been a Chiefs fan. We just got our rings the other day.
Yesterday.
So I don't know if you're Broncos fans, but man, that ring was flashy.
Bubble Boy would love
it.
my
Dan has a Broncos hoodie.
Look-
Is that a
at behind
Broncos?
me,
Yeah,
Matt.
you know
Look at
what?
this.
I thought about wearing my Chiefs Super Bowl hat or something, but
Okay.
I was like, oh shoot, these guys are from Denver. I better be
People cheer
careful.
for the
Banned. Wow. Oh my gosh. Bubble Boy is laughing his butt off right now. I cannot believe it. Another
Terrible.
fair weather Chiefs fan.
No. Hey, time out. Fair weather. It's been, like I said, 1994.
This man followed Joe Montana.
He
Why
referenced
did
Joe
I
Montana.
invite
That's
him back?
That's a fair shake.
I was
What
a,
was I
I was a
thinking?
49ers front runner fan, right?
Ugh.
But I was like 10
Why didn't you stick with the Niners? You just had to follow Joe Montana, didn't you?
because I like the.
Oh God, no!
Oh, God.
Thank you to my beautiful
Can you
wife.
like black
You must
his
have heard me
screen
through
out,
the vents.
Jose? Can you like just
He's
get
putting it on
fade
over
him
his
out of
headphones.
existence?
That's
Right?
impressive.
Moving on. I can't take this anymore. I feel like I'm gonna vomit with that
Taking crazy
red and
pills.
yellow nasty color combination, the worst color combination ever. Anyway, guys, this is the Nerd Chat episode 111. We're going to talk about did the Xbox games showcase deliver? But before we jump into that, let's jump into some huge TNC shoutouts, Jose. And of course, like Bankin already mentioned, please give a huge shout out to our Denver Nuggets world champions, boys. 47 years in the making. I honestly didn't ever think this day would come. There were tears shed in the final moments of that game. It was incredible. I tweeted out Allie freaking out, losing her mind. She literally has barely watched any basketball her whole life, but she was glued in on the playoffs this year. And I'm so happy that she joined me and was there for with me during this moment. Jose, do you consider yourself a diehard Nuggies fan? Or are you just kind of like they've been in the background for you?
No, I've been a big fan of all of our sports, even the Rockies, even though we're terrible right now. We just lost to the Braves by 8.
Have we won any games this year?
1-8. No, I love all our sports, man. It's nice to see that we're actually winning some stuff because it's been a long time, other than the Broncos, since we've seen some stuff.
I did mention off all those
Avs
championships. I'm just gonna say in the Avs, and the Broncos were won back to back, and then we got another one in 2016. You're right, and the Avs have been always in the playoffs, and so have the Nuggets. I would argue that the Nuggets and Avs, I would say the Nuggets now are the best team in Colorado, and they have consistently been amazing and can go into the playoffs. And we have the 2-time MVP, should have been 3-time MVP.
Too bad none of us can watch them on TV though, because the
very true
can't figure out their TV deal. That's cool.
We have Altitude Sports out here, Matt, and they're in some dispute with Comcast, and so we could barely watch them, only when they're on TNT or ESPN. It's a big deal, but we are a city of champions, Jose. Mm-hmm. I know it doesn't feel like it because we're so used to the Broncos always winning, always dominating, but then the Chiefs had to go out and get a once in a generation lifetime
tight end
athlete and quarterback and luck out, and just they've been dominating us ever since. And of course
the Mammoth won 2 this year, and there was another team that won a championship this year that's not one of the big 4 sports. I can't think of what it was.
Was it another
no, it was
I said
Pioneers. It was the Pioneers. Yeah, that's who it was.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, so we've had a lot of shape. I mean, we've had 2 parades in a year, so we're pretty dang lucky. You might as well call us Titletown.
We are a flyover state, by the way. Nobody wants to stop here, but we just win championships here.
No, well, I'd say Kansas City's way more of a flyover state than Colorado.
But anyway, state.
Let's move on to some more shout out Nuggies. I seriously was crying. So shout out again to the Nuggets. It's awesome. Amazing. As a person who would watch them as soon as he became a fan, and I came from Chicago, you guys. I was a diehard Bulls fan, but as soon as I moved to Colorado, I became a diehard Nuggies fan. And I remember the dirty days with LaFonso Ellis and Reef LaFrenz and Nick Van Exel, and going to the arena where barely anybody's there, and those hideous jerseys, Dikembe. Oh my gosh, and then the Melo days, and then having some sort of hope and then Melo just left and went to New York. I never won. Oh yeah, that was the closest we got. That was, and we got in the Western Championship or Conference Finals against the Lakers. But it's good to see the Nuggets finally get one. Again, I'm still in shock. Congratulations, Denver Nuggets. Let's move on to more Nerd Chat shoutouts. Huge TNC shout out to Big Box 1431, and he just wanted to write on our last episode. He said, "No question this week, fellas. Just wanted to drop in and congratulate you on the beginning of a new basketball dynasty in Denver. Let's hope Jokic doesn't get kicked by a horse, LOL. Looking forward to hearing your takes on the Xbox showcase now that the adrenaline has subsided. Have a good week." Shout out, Big Box. Thank you so much. Go Nuggets. Absolutely. I mean, I just saw a tweet, you guys, that were showing the ages of all of our players. I think Jokic is only 28. I didn't know Aaron Gordon's only 27. And then Jamal's 26. And Michael Porter Jr. is only 24.
You should look
You better
behind
be
you,
worried
Dan.
there.
Is what's
Look
happening in
behind
the
you, man.
background, Dan? Okay.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Great. Okay, huge TNC shout out now to my son Grayson Walenzik. He is sick as a dog right now. He's got a super sore throat.
Oh
He had to
no.
stay home
He's coughing
sick today.
all over
Oh,
Dad.
and here's Brooklyn. Hey, shout out to Brookie Wookie.
Oh, right.
And then
Those are the
come on
birthday
over.
ones.
Here's Madison, the
Jeez.
birthday girls. Huge
Oh.
TNC shout out to the crew. Love you guys. All right, good night. Love you.
Down.
I thought he was gonna jump over the banister.
Okay, that's
That
Jose.
was
You know
intense.
Tio.
I
You
didn't
know
know
Tio
what was going on.
Jose. There's
What's up, guys?
Uncle Bacon, and this is our new friend Matt. Can you say hi, Matt? Oh, thank you, Grace.
Hey, what's up, guys?
He says, "What's up, guys? Thank you, guys. Go to bed. Love you." Okay.
Ooh,
All
the
right,
red
Maddie.
tongue means that
Oh.
was something good.
Yep, Maddie.
Good.
Yep, he sees your red tongue. Thank you, Madison. See you later. All right. See you guys. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, be
It's
nice
having
over
little
there.
kids and also being an elementary school teacher that those things just.
You're an elementary school teacher, Matt? I never
Wasn't it
asked you.
last
Oh.
time?
Well,
Well,
I
you
think
were
I
fixing your
was
thing.
I was fixing stuff. Okay, guys. So I don't even know what we're talking about. Jose, take it away on the shout outs. I gotta mute this madness over here.
You're fine. We also want to give a huge shout out to Richard Erb, new follower on YouTube, and Pandemonium, new follower on YouTube. And we're at 149. We actually went up 8 subscribers since last week, which is great.
Oh
We
man,
also
the
found
MCAN
out-
10 effect.
Yeah.
I know, that's
Ooh.
exactly right. And
Bringing 'em
we
over.
also found out that they changed the new partnership thing on YouTube. You only have to get to 300. So we're basically halfway there.
Ooh, I'm
We're
partnered
almost
again.
there.
Holy
Right?
cow.
That's awesome.
So
Awesome.
we're working our way there, man. It'll be great.
Nice.
For you guys.
So
Good for you guys.
thanks for all the support out there. We really do appreciate it. Again, thanks to Big Box. We love hearing your comments. Thanks to all the new subs. And gentlemen, speaking of the showcase, let's jump into Xbox news gaming for the week.
News team, assemble!
And news topic number 1, we are going over the Xbox Games Showcase. I can't believe it's been almost a week ago.
Man.
And I like what Big Box said here just a second ago. He said, now that, the adrenaline has subsided, what do we all think of the conference? And I will go quickly first. And after some reflection, I do think that this was the best showcase of the summer. And looking back,
yeah.
I think I gave Sony, I think I'm going to be more generous. I said it was maybe a 2, 3 out of 5. I'm going to go with a 3 out of 5. It was fine. It was a fine showcase, just a poor Sony showcase because we still don't know anything about their games. And it always CGI. Games Fest, got to give that a 4 out of 5. That was their best showcase.
That was Keely's
And I
best,
will
yeah.
give the Xbox Game Showcase as a conference a 5 out of 5 rating. But as an
Never does
Xbox fan, and I'm being real here, I would say it's not the conference of dreams. If it had the Final Fantasy that Matt protected, or the Call of Duty being on stage, or just one more little thing, maybe a little bit more gameplay, I think it would have been the perfect conference. So I would probably give it realistically for Xbox a 4. I think it was just missing one little thing. But as an overall conference, what else could they have done? Realistically, I got to give it a 5 out of 5. I mean, to the general public, I think they did a great job. I do wish there was maybe a little bit more gameplay for some of these games, but I mean, realistically, I've heard some people saying, like, I remember hearing Stella and somebody else on IGN saying, like, oh, it was okay. And they're like, I was like, are you serious? Like, what else could have Microsoft have done? Like, it was a fantastic show otherwise. So, Bacon, I see you shaking your head over there. What is your overall rating a week later on the Xbox Game Showcase?
I've now watched it 3 times.
Whoa.
Just today at work, I decided to watch King David's reaction to it with the Isle Lords. And he was streaming with J-Dub, the notorious pony J-Dub. And J-Dub was quiet the whole time. And King was just thrashing that dude. So after watching it 3 times, it's a 5 out of 5. They missed our scale. If it was not our scale, if it was a regular scale, it'd be a 9. But with our scale, I have to give it a 5. The only thing missing for me was anything remotely gameplay related for Hellblade.
I agree.
An enemy encounter, one swing of a blade, one puzzle, just something. Now the game looks absolutely phenomenal, And I was actually just playing on Cloud, the first Hellblade on my ROG Ally before I came up here. Anything even remotely gameplay, a HUD, anything.
Yep.
The game looks great. We know that. We get that. Ninja Theory, the game looks fantastic. You guys put in work. Anything remote would have been nice, but that's about it.
And really quickly on that, Bacon, it could have not been there, and we still would have been in the same place as we are right now. Like, even though it showed it, I didn't learn much about
the stuff
Hellblade.
We saw last year with the huge troll and throwing
that was more engaging.
Spear at it. I mean, we know what this game looks like. We've played the first one. We know what to expect. We just are expecting more combat in this one, and we've yet to see that.
I like what you said too about it being a 5 on a 5 on our scale. You're right. I would rate it a 5 out of 5, but if we were on a 10 point, I'd absolutely give it like a 4.5 or a 9. Yeah. So I'm right there with you. Matt, let's hear from you. The more of the agnostic. He's playing. I think he's playing some Nintendo right now. I don't know what he's playing or his son is
everything right now.
He's playing everything. He's got all the time in the world. He's gonna be on some break here.
I'm definitely elbows deep in Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, it's just not Zelda anymore. But anyway, go ahead.
20 frames.
So on your scale, that 5, what do you call that 5 out of 5?
A must play.
So it'd be
a must watch.
And the 4 is
highly recommended.
Pause. I'm going to say I'm going to say as a show itself.
Yes.
I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5.
Just like me. Yeah.
As a show.
I agree.
As an Xbox show, I don't know what more Xbox fans could have. I know there's more to ask for.
There's a little bit.
But what more can you ask for?
We're a little picky.
I think as an Xbox show, this was also a 5 out of 5.
Whoa, he's giving them both 5. And I agree. We are being really picky.
Like
let's
what,
be real.
Like, come on.
It's like you guys are idiots.
What can you ask for? And on top of that, do you really want everything else?
No,
right now?
You're right.
You know what I mean? So come on. Like,
Matt, I think
we'll talk
I'm
about
just
this
saying,
later, but the marketing that Microsoft went out and got for this show.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to it.
Are you kidding me?
I
know we'll talk about it, but
I just think if they had Call of Duty there, it would have been huge. Like returning to Xbox or Final Fantasy. Imagine if Final Fantasy 7 was there. Like,
you know
that
what?
would have been like holy
You're right. Final Fantasy wasn't there, but what they did was all of the rumors going around how Sony is buying CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk shows up.
Totally forgot about Keanu
at an Xbox show with Keanu on the stage. Hey, listen, 5.
Okay, you got me. I loved Keanu's whole spiel there too. When he went off, he just ran up. I thought that was awesome. You gotta love that guy. Jose, bring us home. I already know what you're gonna say. Tell us what you thought of the conference.
I'm Mr. Positive over here. I gave it a 5 to both scales, but both as an Xbox show and a general show. Like in my mind, the goal of a showcase is just that. It is to show what you have coming. It is to get people excited. It's to get them to want to buy stuff, and it's to get people to talk about what you did in a good way. They did all of that with spades. I mean, there is.
And I forgot about Starfield.
Literally every pundit, every person on YouTube, every person on Twitter came from that showcase and was like, "Oh my God, that was amazing! That's like one of the best shows I've ever seen." And that was even before the Starfield stuff, right? Like, I don't know. I hear you about the Final Fantasy thing, but the trick with that is you're asking for something that doesn't exist. All of this stuff does exist. We knew Fable was somewhere in the future. We knew
that's a good point.
Avowed was somewhere in the future. Like your Final Fantasy, you might as well be asking for Mario to come to the Xbox.
Just want to point that out.
Right. So what I'm saying here is I think it was absolutely incredible. Like, I love that we got the South of Midnight stuff. I love that we got Clockwork Revolution, which looked great. I like that there were surprises like Flight Simulator and
that looked
like
really
Star Wars
cool.
Outlaws, which also looked super sick. I mean, like, everything that came through, I was like, oh my God, I want to play that. Oh my God, I want to play that. And the fact that so many of these were also in Game Pass, I was just like,
you're right.
Great. I came away from that show feeling like I am so happy,
rejuvenated, and then Starfield took it to other note. You're absolutely right. This is a 5 out of 5. Who are we kidding? Here's the thing, but I do want to point out some of the things that they could have worked on, and I do feel like Hellblade is one of those. And we'll talk more, but let's jump into what was shown at the show. I have notes here, and I have it in order, and I believe I have everything. And Jose, do we have a chat in here? Jose, can you share that article that the Xbox Wire one to Matt while I'm going over these? Because it kind of gives a brief description. I don't know if I need to get to it, but let's start off. I believe Matt said Hellblade would open the show. Incorrect. We have Fable. As a big Fable fan, I am incredibly excited for this new take on it. The humor was there, the graphics were there. Unfortunately, no date, but I trust in Playground Games take as much time as they need. Does anybody have anything they want to say for Fable? I'm a huge Fable fan. I appreciate the direction they're going. I appreciate it's their own take, and I can't wait to see. But Bacon, go ahead. It looks like you want to say something.
For me, all the discourse on Twitter was not actual gameplay, yada yada yada, and the Fable devs came out and said basically this is the biggest compliment you guys could pay us to say that this is CGI, this is actual in-game captured on the Series X. Insane.
But see, that's cool and all.
No HUD.
But is that but as a fan or as somebody watching, you know, clearly they didn't get that. They didn't feel like they were watching gameplay. So is that
I mean, if there was a HUD on there,
felt like they were being cheated with CGI, and it's not CGI. That's the point.
Yeah, if you didn't see that UI, then that's what throws people. And that's a big deal. We like as gamers, we want to see what we're looking at. Yeah, and that can make or break the experience as well. But I mean, yeah, I'm on like I see both. I mean, I see both.
Matt, let me ask you, you're not a big Fable guy. Do you want to play the new Fable after watching that trailer?
So don't get me wrong. It's not that I'm not a Fable guy. I just had never played all the Fable games. I tried. Yeah, I mean, after watching that, I mean, that like I love that like what do they call it? Like the British comedy and stuff like that. Like I love that they're sticking to the roots. It looked funny. It looked fun. I too, I thought it was CGI, you know, I thought it was just a computer generated type of trailer, and the fact that it wasn't, you know, had me excited. It looks fun.
Yeah,
looks like a lot of fun.
Jose, anything, or should we move on to the next one?
I just want to point out, it also made me really happy that it seems like Xbox's marketing team finally understood the power of what they do on social media with Fable.
Yeah,
because before the showcase, a lot of people were concerned, like,
with the
do
glitter.
they understand that by doing that whole glitter thing that they did, people want Fable 4. They don't want a remake. They don't want a remaster, even though they would love that. That's not what that points to, and it seems like they understood that. Greenberg and his team obviously did awesome there. So that's the only thing I wanted to point out as well.
Next, the game was also Compulsion Games. I believe this is a point for Bacon, correct, in predictions.
That's my 1 point.
Okay, so South of Midnight, a kind of in-engine trailer. I love the art style, love the setting. Don't know much about the game, no date, but again, it's nice to see Compulsion Games. Of course, this is a must-play for me. Again, I want to start out with Matt here as somebody who, I don't know if he played any Compulsion Games, maybe. Just from this short little CGI or in-engine trailer, are you interested in this title?
Compulsion did like We Happy
Few.
Yeah, I've never played those games.
Never played it.
I mean, I really liked almost like that claymation style stop motion. I believe I read that that's what the game will be like. I mean, the bayou and the music and like, you know, the atmosphere seemed really cool. I just maybe I didn't do enough. I mean, I read about the game. I still maybe just don't know, you know, I'm just wondering what we're playing. But yeah, I mean, I like, you know, when it comes out and when we see more about it, I'd love to dive a little bit deeper and check it out. But no, I don't have any experience with them, and it wasn't on the top of my.
Here's a quick description. It's a spellbinding third-person action-adventure game set in the Deep South. As Hazel, you will explore the mythos and encounter creatures of Southern folklore and what's that word? Macabre? What the heck is macabre? And a fantastical world. When disaster strikes her hometown, Hazel is called to become a weaver, a magical mender of broken bonds and spirits.
Sounds like Ghostwire.
Oh, okay. With these new abilities, Hazel will confront and subdue dangerous creatures and untangle the webs of her own family's shared past. If she's lucky, find her way to a place that feels like home. Sounds cool, right? Like,
I'm into that Deep South type of like, you know, thing. Like that's cool. Like maybe we don't get enough of those kind of games. It seems like a fun experience.
Anybody else want to say that, or should move on next one quickly?
I just think it's a perfect way to reveal a game. You know, we haven't ever seen anything from it, so we get a CGI cutscene, and then the next time they show it, it'll
Gotta
have
be gameplay.
Yeah, perfect.
So
Who says that?
Perfect.
Is that Cog? He's like, you show me the CGI, and then
Yep.
you gotta give me gameplay on that next one. So, next one, Jose mentioned this big. This was a big deal as a third-party partnership to have out there. Ubisoft massive Star Wars Outlaws. I don't know if any of you guys watched the Ubisoft conference as well. Gameplay looks
pretty
cool. Reminded me kind of like Uncharted. I'm in. I just don't know if I'm a day one in, especially because I still have to finish Jedi Survivor that I purchased and have yet to play. Bacon, you are excited for this one?
Oh, anything Star Wars, I'm day one. Line me up. Ubisoft massive, so I like the Division. They do good things visually, so it's definitely going to be a day one for me. Can't tell if it's totally games as a service or whatnot, but who cares? I'm going to play it.
And Jose, what about you?
I'm with Bacon. Like because this is the first. Isn't this the first true Star Wars open world game?
Yep.
Like we've never had one like this before, which I think is exciting.
Was that
I mean,
Old Republic open world? I don't know. I never played it.
I don't think
need
it
to.
was open enough. I think
Hub
it was
world.
pretty linear, relatively. No, I'm pumped. I think it looked beautiful. I think it was a nice addition to the showcase. Like I have no complaints about it by any means. Like I think it's awesome.
Matt, are you a day one on this? I don't know if I'd be a day one on this.
I don't know if I'm a day one. I mean, was Survive. I know Survivor's not open world, but man, that world was pretty open. But I mean, I get it. Like, I wasn't a big Division guy, but I mean, like you're a smuggler. That's like a Han Solo kind of feel. I love Han Solo. I love it takes place between episodes.
Like I think it was Return of the
4
Jedi
and
or is it?
I don't know, it
Was
just seems
Empire
like
in
it's two.
Return of the Jedi?
It's Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
yeah, it's just a perfect timetable. I don't know if I'm a day one, but I definitely want to check it out.
Yeah. Next game, or actually after that, we had Sarah Bond. She comes out, introduces the show, and Bacon's obsessed with that Sarah Bond. And then the next one was very cool, very surprised with this one. 33 Immortals. It's coming out in 2024 and is also coming to Game Pass as well. Jose, do you remember this one at all, or do you need to read the description here?
I mean, I can read the description, but I remember it.
Okay, tell us about it.
Basically, it reminded us. We said it looked like Hades mixed with
Diablo.
Diablo, that's what it was. Hades mixed with Diablo in terms of the art style and kind of thing. Massive online multiplayer. It's not an MMO though, but it was like a lot of online.
33-person co-op battles, pick up and raid matchmaking is what's described in here.
Yeah, what a wild number. 33.
Yeah. I don't know if that's just a server thing or they just thought that was a cool effect, but I mean, it looks cool. I mean, I super into it. I mean, it wasn't like I have to play this on the first day, but I do like that we're seeing a variety of games. You know, as much as we've kind of talked about before, like I do love a good big open world RPG or like a over the shoulder third person Assassin's Creed, God of War. I love those games, but I don't love only that, right? So I like that there's variety, and I love that 33 Immortals got a pretty top tier spot in the showcase. They were early on in the showcase, so I thought that was cool too.
Bacon, do you want to play this one? Or oh yeah, of course you do. You're a big Hades fan. I forgot.
Yeah, I'm a huge Hades fan. This kind of game
You're
really,
obsessed.
yeah, this stuff really floats my boat. Colt Eastwood was saying today in a podcast he actually played it when he was out in LA last week. Says it's really cool. He's not sure if it's going to be quite for him, but he thinks it'll be pretty darn popular. Something about as you kill mobs and mobs of bad guys, then that just enrages the world boss in that area, and then they just start throwing everything at you, and it just like time trials of surviving a minute. Like it sounds like it's going to be abject chaos, so it sounds like it's gonna be a hoot.
And Matt, did this do anything for you?
I mean, it dazzled on screen. I just don't know if it's my type of game.
It's all right. That's all right. I mean, it's still a cool little small indie game to show there.
Yeah, which I love. It's those
right after
those small games.
So next game that was shown was Payday 3, and we're getting this. I don't know about this release date in September of 2023. I think any game at this point would be crazy to stay in September after the in-depth Starfield gameplay. But I am interested in this. I've never played a Payday, but it's on Game Pass. If we need a good shooter to play, maybe I'll check it out. Do we need to move on? I don't think this one necessarily is a big one for any of us. So uh, I still think that's an important get for Game Pass, and it will have a definite audience there because of Game Pass. But I'm gonna wait and see on that one. Next game, and I need to ask Matt immediately: was Persona 3 is coming? The remake, right? It's a
Yeah, it's called Reload.
reimagining.
Yeah, like they're remaking the original, and like there was like a few there was a few takes on it. Then they did one with like a female protagonist, but I don't think she's gonna be in this one. And
So they're making changes, but not quite the exact same, not quite
I'm the
different.
wrong
Are you a
PlayStation
Persona
fan.
guy? That's what I want to ask. Have you
No.
played or beaten any of them?
I started all right. So
Persona 4
Jonathan Dornbush did that podcast. I want to say it was called Take Your Time, and they played Persona 5 Royal every single day following the
Yeah, I think
calendar in
yeah.
Persona 5. So it took them like almost a year to do it, and I tried following the calendar and doing it with them, and I fell off after like 2 weeks. I those games are like 100
I
plus hours just for
know.
the story, and I'm like,
Not even the side stuff?
where
Oh,
do you find the time to play a game like this? So I
yeah.
no, I'm not I've never gotten into Persona. I've tried. I tried with Persona 3 on a Game Pass with P3P.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't
I
know.
know. It's just too much. I
It's
tried.
but it's a huge get
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
Xbox
exactly. Yeah.
stage,
This
you
is
know
a
what I mean?
huge thing for
Let's not put
Xbox to
that
have the
down.
continued partnership, getting Persona on there, and we'll talk a little bit more about another partnership too. I do think it's a big deal that they got Persona 4, Persona 3, Persona 5. I got really far in Persona 4 Gold, and believe it or not, Matt, on my PS Vita, I was one of the only people who had a PS Vita there on Vita Island there for a road trip back in the day with Bubble Boy, actually, funny enough, and Bogus when I got really far into it, but I don't think I ever beat it. And I enjoyed what was there, and it's catchy, but it's a certain kind of game. And Bacon, tell us about your experience with Persona 5 really quickly before we move on
About
to the next one.
12 seconds on cloud and decided JRPGs are not for me.
Bacon hates the JRPGs. He'd never finish a Final Fantasy, just like me and Matt. But anyway, moving on to the next game, and I called it, and I said this was my safe bet, my only prediction. Avowed, they gave us a pretty awesome trailer with gameplay in there, coming out in 2024 on Game Pass. This is one I highlighted. And Matt, you had concerns right away. You mentioned in our little chat on Twitter saying, "What's up with the visuals, Daddy D Wally? What's going on? This isn't the Avowed I wanted." So talk to me
So
about that.
just looking at the logo, the
Yeah.
colors, everything about it changed. And when they first showed it off a year or two ago, it had that hyper realistic look to it.
But it was a
And
CGI trailer a long
I
time
know
ago.
for
Such a
sure,
big
for
deal.
sure. I understand that, but coming off of that CGI trailer and seeing like all the grays and just, darkness to explosive color, it's like, whoa. And it's like there was almost that, I don't want to say cartoonish, but there was definitely a different look to this game that I think a lot of people were thrown off. I watched it again, and then I started thinking about the Outer Worlds, and I just started thinking about how beautiful
And
that game
grounded.
was, and just the atmosphere and the colors and the palette and everything like that, and the art direction. And I'm like, you know what? I kind of dig this. They got to separate themselves from the Elder Scrolls,
Hmm.
as the
Do their
Skyrim,
own thing, their own art
do their own
style.
thing. And I watched it another time or two, and I'm like, I think I really like this. I really like it. I like the way it looks. I like the color.
Jose, what about you? Did Avowed do anything for you? Because I remember I was kind of freaking out during our live stream, and I was really pumped to actually see it. And I think I caught onto it before you guys did. I was like, "This is Avowed." So, what was your reaction? Because I think you're a little bit more like,
I mean, I think you were just excited to be on the board for points, and so you were
no,
excited to rub it in your face a little
no.
bit. But no, I think it looked cool. Here's what I think. I think we've kind of run up against this issue in the gaming space where if you focus on the fidelity of graphics, if you just want it to look hyper realistic and gorgeous, that's awesome. There's nothing wrong with that. I certainly love games like that, but that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work to get it out of the gate looking pristine without any issues. And I think that what some studios are realizing is that if they really want to prioritize the story or the gameplay or some other element of their game besides just the graphical fidelity, that might need to change some things. And I agree with Matt, what he said. Like, I remember the original video we saw, because it was at the showcase last year. I remember there were like 5 games that all looked within that same kind of like Souls-like, very dark and dingy, medieval / like fantasy world. And I kind of thought to myself back then, like, that's cool, but that's a lot of competition. And so I think what may have happened in the last year is they kind of said, look, we got to do something to set ourselves apart a little bit. And so maybe they did lean heavily more into like the Outer Worlds kind of aesthetic, but I thought it looked great. I mean, I've never played Grounded. I really want to. I just have never been able to
Great looking game
get
too.
to it. And so I'm excited to play this. I know that everybody's really pumped for it. It seems like a fun game, man. And I think that's at the end of the day what I really want is I just want fun games. Like, if they don't look like, the uncanny valley where I'm staring at a human being that looks like me, that doesn't bother me in games, right? I would much rather have a game that's a compelling story and fun to play. And this did look like that. I like the magical elements. Like, it was like a Skyrim that was a little more cartoony and modern. So I'm in, man. I think it looks great.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Bacon, do you have anything, or are you good to go?
It was a bit of a shock because that first CG trailer was so dark and dingy with the arrows being flown over walls and whatever magic he was, conjuring down in that cave. It was dark, it was dingy, it was dirty. This is definitely more Outer Worlds than it is Skyrim, but it doesn't change my anticipation or want to play the game at all. It was just a little bit of a shock to see something take that big of a leap from the CGI trailer. Because, I mean, Fable's CGI trailer and what we saw last week, they look the same. This was just such a big change and big difference for me. But again, it doesn't change my anticipation for the game in the least.
The next game.
Well, can I pause you for a second?
Yeah.
Did you guys play the Pillars of Eternity games?
No,
I actually almost started those the other day.
I have no connection to them.
I believe, I could be wrong, we should look this up, but I believe Avowed is connected to that world.
It is same world.
It is, right?
Oh.
I played the first Pillars of Eternity, and what
Do we
an
need to play it?
incredible game. I don't think so. We'd have to do a little research. I don't think so, but what an incredible game. I never played the second one of 65+ hour campaigns, but Obsidian does some incredible things. So I'm excited about the scope. I want to say it was even the size, like a smaller scaled game, like the Outer Worlds. Yeah,
they're saying that, which excites me. I can't.
These
do
are smart moves,
massive,
very
games
smart
anymore.
moves.
I can't. Again, we talked about that David Jaffe, with Colin. They talked about how changed the perception of what a AAA game is. It doesn't have to be these massive 60-hour games. Why can't we just get a short 8-hour, well-polished, well-made game? And I'm all for that. I'm already feeling overwhelmed as it is, and it's kind of scary.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't even gotten to Starfield and in Spider-Man later this year, and Forza. Like, I'm freaking out. Anyway, let's move on. The next one, very quick. I don't think any of us have anything to say about this. Sea of Thieves: The Legend of Monkey Island. I think it's a great collaboration. I love Sea of Thieves. I want to love it. I can never. Every time I jump in, I'm like, this is so cool. This ocean is so amazing. But I never finish them. And I really tried. I did the first main set of missions on the Pirates of the Caribbean. And that game you have to play co-op. Like, I can't do it on my own.
Let's all play together. Let's do it. Let's build a ship. Let's build a pirate ship. And do it.
I got this PC right here. Let's do it. Let's get in, Matt. I want to do all these missions. So let's do it.
There is a skill gap in that game. We will get smashed.
Well, that's why we only do the missions. We don't go around getting dominated out in the seas. All right.
You will get going back to port.
What's funny is every time
dominated.
I jump in by myself though, Bacon, and I just sail around, nobody's ever attacked me. Like, I've always been chill. So I don't know. Next game, and again, looks super cool, but not for me. Flight Simulator 2024, officially a new release, and this looked cool with those the fire
Dune, Dragonfly.
Oh, screw the Dune. I'm talking about the rescue missions, the firefighting missions,
Red Bull.
All that stuff. I got to give a shout out to the anxious photographer in the chat. Jason, this would be a perfect game for you. I'm wondering if you like Flight Simulator, just doing all that stuff. I think this looks incredibly cool. coming to Game Pass. They're, like Jose said, Dune collaboration, but again, not enough time for me to dedicate to learning how to fly a jet properly. Anybody have anything to say about this besides, and it looked beautiful, absolutely stunning.
Didn't it have like some RPG elements to it? Like,
if they can
say like
there were
you're
like
walking
missions,
around
right?
and putting out fires and stuff.
If they can really make it more of a game versus a sim, they'd have me. Like, that's the thing. Like, if they can gamify it even more than they tried to in the first one, I would probably check this out. But next game after that, and here's where me and Bacon were talking about the disappointment of the show for me personally. Senwa 2, of course, not coming out this year, also my fantasy draft. So clearly Jose takes it all this year. Me, Bacon, and Bubble Boy all had games drafted that are not coming out this year. So and I did Redfall. I was all in. Still got Starfield. That's going to be my one hit. But Senwa is coming out 2024. Another CGI or cutscene, in-game cutscene. We kind of talked about it earlier. Matt, I can't remember. Did you say you played the first one?
I'm about to start.
Yeah, okay. He's starting soon.
Okay, so I'm not going to say anything. So maybe we'll come back to this after we get your reaction to this. Bacon, I've already heard your disappointment. Jose, do you see our complaints about this? We've seen this game a couple of times now, and we still don't have a clear idea on what this game really is.
That's not totally true. I agree with you that I would have loved to see actual gameplay. I would have loved to see the HUD. I would have loved to see combat. I don't disagree with any of those points. Those are great points. But we've played Senua 1, right? I can't imagine there will be a massive departure from their current HUD in the second one.
I want to see where they've improved, though, Jose.
You're right, but I'm just saying, like, to say that we haven't seen anything is a little bit of a misnomer, right? That's not really the case. But here's what I would say. The one thing that I thought was amazing when we watched the live stream was audio. When you had headphones and it was already doing the voices, like that brought me right back into the first game. And Matt, I know you haven't played it yet, but dude, that is one of the most incredible aspects of that game is absolutely play sound with headphones, because it was next level for the generation that it came out, for sure. Bacon, go ahead.
On that note, I was just downstairs playing the first one on the Ally on cloud, and I was playing it over the speakers, and my wife's sitting next to me. About 10 minutes in, she goes, "What is that? I do not like that."
I do not like
all the voices were going off. I'm
don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Wild game.
Yeah, I'm excited for both of you. That it is a great game and easy 1,000 out of 1,002 in case you're interested in that stuff. But fantastic game. That's just it. Like, I think Bacon and I were just excited for this game, but especially Chance, but we still haven't seen much for it. I still have faith, but I feel like it's gotten to the point where the next time they show it, it's got to be like a direct.
Agreed. But they have a lot of time now too. That's the other part. Is that now that we know that it's 2024. There's no rush to show the gameplay, and if anything, it's another reason to have it at another showcase down the road.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, I'm excited. What I really want to know is, did I get the points for that?
What was your prediction again?
I did say Hellblade 2, but I said it was going to start with Hellblade 2. But then I did say Q1 2024.
I gave you the points for it.
No, that's not a point. That's not a point. It didn't
knew it would be there, but
it did. Okay, he said it was going to open the show.
I was just being gutsy.
All right, and then exactly, he should have just said.
That's fair.
No, he's wrong on both accounts.
You guys picked me to go. You guys picked me to go first. I got nervous. All right, I wanted to come out strong.
No, but I even explained to him. I'm like, Matt, are you sure you want to do that? But he does.
I said 2024. I said
coming
2024.
Up, you said Q1. If it doesn't come out Q1, no points. And moving on, we'll give him a. I can't even give him points because we don't have a Q1 date. I'm sorry. This is a 0 on the Daddy D Wallay makes the final judgment call. He knows it too. The next trailer, which might have been one of the best trailers of the show, was Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, coming out in 2024. A fantastic trailer, hilarious. I didn't play the last one. Was that what was the last one?
Like a Dragon.
Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Yakuza Like a Dragon? That's right.
So
and then
good.
They changed
They
it
are fun.
So
again,
good.
But isn't that a time investment?
It is a time investment. It took me 18 months, but I remember so good.
Remember Chance was saying, even Ashley was like, "Are you still playing that game?" It was good. So again, another awesome partnership to see at the Xbox showcase. I love everything about it, but again, time. I'd rather go back and play. I started Yakuza 0. I got to finish that and get through some of those before I can even dream about some of these other ones. So I think we don't have much to say about that because I don't think Jose or Bacon have played either of them. Next one, and this is where Matt got a point. Fallout 76, the Atlantic City DLC is coming out in 2024. He said anything Fallout was there. Unfortunately, it was not a remake. It wasn't anything new, but
one of those
Fallout,
remasters.
dude, I think that's a great idea. I will have to say very quickly on this, I played this game early on when it released. I think I played it on Game Pass, and I had a great time. I enjoyed my time with
because the
Fallout
Wasteland
76.
is awesome.
Exactly. Like I felt like I was just playing a Fallout game, and I had fun. I did the whole campaign. I beat it. I did everything. Sometimes I even think about going back to this, but I know it's overwhelming because I was going to say, Matt, I've never done a power armor build in any of my Fallout games. So I'm like, man, maybe I should do that. I don't know. But it is a time sink. I just want to say this game gets trashed on a lot. I know it came out broken and I know people love to hate on it, but I played this game and had a great time. I'm just saying. So
there's a beautiful community out there.
Yes, and they're very nice. Every time I've gone, people like they give me stuff. Every time I go, they can see I'm a noob and they leave me stuff all the time.
They are
the
fantastic.
nicest community ever online I've ever played.
Like, and they did a great job fixing this game. They kept at it. I mean, I still don't know if it's the most perfect game. I haven't played it in probably about 2 years. But
did you beat it?
The main storyline, I think so. I bought the game. I jumped in on day one.
You were a big Fallout.
I jumped in on day one. Hey, listen, like this is my dad. My dad's big game is Fallout. He so we both jumped into this.
That's
game
awesome.
Day one. And I think I came back after the Wasteland update.
Wastelanders.
Yeah, the Wastelanders update where there's NPCs and stuff introduced.
See, I went back. I played it before that. I played the whole thing just with the robots the whole time.
For that. Yeah, no, I did not finish it then. I waited and went back probably like a couple of years after.
Bacon, have you beaten any Fallout games?
I have not.
Okay, moving on. Jose, you were just saying that you thought about playing Fallout. I want to say this really quickly when we were watching the Starfield thing. Guys, I'm really close. I have Fallout 4 for free on PS5 thanks to my PS Plus membership. And I'm like, do I go for the platinum on Fallout 4? Do I try to play it again?
Fallout 4 is amazing, dude.
I thought Fallout 4. I have almost 600 hours logged in Fallout 4.
You could almost fight Goose on that.
And there's no online in that game.
Oh, I loved it, but like, you know what's deterring me, Matt, is I'd have to do all that building stuff again, and I just can't.
That's what sucked me away, man.
I hate it. And you don't even have to do it. Like that's the worst part. You don't even have to do the building at all if you don't want to.
I was like the mayor of an entire freaking world in that time, man. It just sucked me in.
Anyway, let's hope we get another Fallout in our lifetime. That was another game that was a little quick update release on the showcase. Next game was I believe this is a new IP, right? Capcom's Path of the Goddess. Looked interesting. Nuka-Cola. Capcom is on a roll right now. Bacon, bringing you back. Did this do anything for you? This kind of looked like Sekiro meets
Wolong.
Bacon.
It's pretty. It's bright colors. I mean, I hope it doesn't. What's that battle royale game, Blade Point, that was just on Game Pass?
Blade Point, yeah.
I hope it's not that. But it's Capcom, so they have sway in this industry. They have a history, so it'll probably be good in Game Pass. Yeah. So, I mean, I love the genre. I love the art style. I love feudal Japan or China. So that kind of stuff just is awesome to me. So if it's good, I'll play it. If it's not, I'll just get rid of it.
The next game that was announced, and this I don't know about this, guys. October 10th, Forza Motorsport is officially coming. I think Forza is going to be a great game. They're always great. I love Forza. I will be playing this. I'm a huge Forza guy. Motorsport and Horizon. I do think Horizon is the superior product now. Well, I shouldn't say superior product. It's just more for me because it's the more arcade, more fun to play. But I've always loved the simulation racing games. Gran Turismo basically started my love for cars on the PlayStation 1. I played Gran Turismo 1, Gran Turismo 2, then kind of took a break there and then got back into the racing with the Xbox One launch. I didn't even play any of the Forzas on Xbox or the 360. I got in Xbox One when Forza Motorsport 4, I believe, launched. Or no, it was 4. 4, was it? Or 5? Whatever the Xbox One launch one was. That got me in, and then I played Horizon afterwards, and I was late to that, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what have I been missing with the Horizon series?" Jose, are you going to play this, or are you going to stick to Horizon?
I probably will download it at some point and just check it out. I do appreciate the graphics stuff. I think it looks beautiful. I have an OLED.
Yes.
Like I do want to see what it looks like, but this is just not my type of game. Like as much as I appreciate Gran Turismo and I appreciate Forza Motorsport for the record too.
I bet you appreciate Gran Turismo more after seeing all those commercials during the NBA Finals, man. Are you going to see that day one? Are you pumped for Gran Turismo?
I'll go see it day one, no, but I will go see it. I just think that the motorsport is just I don't know. I don't understand cars. I guess that's the better way to put it. Like the way that cars work is magical to me in real life.
Not.
I know Bacon says it's not, but like every time I
love cars,
I'm a smart man. Like I've done lots of things in my life with YouTube.
But cars just isn't one of them.
And every time I open the hood to my car, I'm just like, nope, and just shut it and go to the dealership. So anyway, so that being said, it's a no for me. The other thing is what Dan was kind of hinting at with his super negative intro to this is that October stacked, man. There's just the other games I want to play during that time. Plus, I'll be still playing Starfield, obviously, at that point as well. I'll probably check out Spider-Man first.
Are you guys disappointed that it's not getting that summer release like it was supposed to?
Yes, I personally am. I think this should have been in like August or late July.
This was stated for the summer, and I think like some of like the negative, because I didn't hear a lot of negative about Forza Motorsport, but I think some of the negative things the chatter I heard was there like no one saw this even coming. Like everyone was expecting this to be a summer game.
I think
just like okay, October.
He was saying that this is going to be their October, and I think he knew it too. He had like insider info. And Bacon, before I throw it to you, I do want to say, Jose, on a positive note, I did I did just yesterday watch the IGN. They had like a huge interview with them, and they're showing real gameplay. And I was getting hyped because it looks incredible. Don't get me wrong, like it looks this game is going to be a 9, 10 out of 10 kind of game. And I am excited for it. I just think the release window, I don't think it's good for Forza. But I guess that doesn't really matter because Forza players, especially simulation racing players, are going to play it whenever it comes out.
I think these are different.
Yeah,
these are different gamers.
Yeah. I agree. But me, who does enjoy Starfields and the other big releases and is into the racing sims, I'm just like, oh man, that's a tough window there. Bacon, close it off on your Forza. You're a car guy too.
I am a huge car guy, and I'm a sim racer. This game has me looking around my room to see if I have room to build a full immersive sim.
Do it. Dude, one of us has to, Bacon.
And Bacon, one of us has to.
Please.
They're so expensive, but
they are.
No, dude, I've seen them for like $300. You can get a cheap one.
Wheels
is Bacon going to get a cheap one, Dan? No.
Right.
Steering wheels with feedback and like pedals and shifters and multiple ultra wide monitors surround.
The other day when I went to Micro Center and I was asking about the hard drives for the ROG Ally, Bacon, I literally saw like an 80-year-old grandma sitting in the racing sim at Micro Center playing.
It's a culture.
Like, this is amazing.
It's a culture at Micro Center.
Dude, that place.
I'm crazy excited. I hope they will eventually open up VR support for PC VR. I think that would be a super smart decision on their end. But this is it. Tuning shocks, changing the tread on my tires.
See, I don't even do that.
Lowering tire pressure. I mean,
and I don't even do my own oil change.
Yeah,
I don't know what those things mean, Bacon.
I'm a mechanic in real life, so it's got me.
That's what I know.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
I'm excited, Jose. I'm excited after I saw the extended thing on it. I highly recommend it. It's on IGN, you guys, and it was 4K and everything, and they showed like it looks absolutely.
How long was
stunning.
it? Like half an hour?
No, it's only like 12 minutes or something.
Okay,
it was definitely worth watching. So for all you car fans out there, and I was just going to say, if you're still watching, you should definitely check that out. The Forza Motorsport extended with IGN. Next two games, I don't think we have much to say about this. Elder Scrolls Online Necrom is coming out June 20th. That's cool. All you online MMORPG fans, enjoy that. I'd love to get DSO, but as Matt said, where do we have the time for all this stuff? Not into Overwatch 2. There's that update as well. I just never got into Overwatch. I don't see the appeal in that. Persona 5, the Atlas partnership goes on. Persona 5 Tactica is coming out November 17th, 2023. This is coming out on Game Pass as well. We don't have much to say about another Persona.
Are you guys tactics guys?
Crazy.
Do you like tactics games?
My brother's
yeah.
My brother is a huge Final Fantasy Tactics fan. Like he to this day, he modded. I shouldn't say this. Illegally modded his Xbox Series X. Got banned for a couple of days on Xbox for he was streaming it from his Xbox onto Twitch and him playing. Like this is a big deal. He's a diehard Final Fantasy.
If you guys haven't played Gears Tactics yet, you're missing out. You should play it.
I'm not a tactics. I've
never been into it either.
Great story too.
Matt, did you play Midnight Suns?
No.
Oh, none of us did either. I just was curious.
Bubble Boy's playing it right now, actually.
It said it's real good.
Yeah, I'm just not a tactics guy.
Yeah, and then we get the start. I thought this was a little questionable at first, but then I thought about it. It's for the people who weren't going to hang around for the Starfield afterwards. And then, to be honest, this was a fantastic trailer just for Starfield. And I thought it was an amazing trailer, and it could have been their launch trailer. They do show you that, and they say stick around for the extended part after the show. So I get why it was there, but to me, I was like, did you really need to do that? But I understand. So we'll talk more about Starfield at the end. Then the next one, this was a surprise for me. As much as I love to make fun of Hideo Kojima and his walking simulator in Death Stranding, Jusant, coming from Don't Nod, is coming out in fall 2023 on Game Pass. This is the climbing game that was on that we saw. This is a day one for me, guys. Like, I can't wait to check this game out. I thought the art style was cool. I thought some of the climbing mechanics is definitely more engaging. What is one of my favorite parts of the Uncharted series, you guys? It's the climbing and the jumping.
Man, I think you're the only one, right?
What? Really? You don't like that in Uncharted?
I mean, like,
that's like one of my favorite parts was the climbing.
And in
Assassin's Creed.
You know what's funny? I thought like a week or so ago, people were like talking about, can we get rid of climbing in games? And then we see this.
Right.
I'm sure
you should love Horizon.
Is not going to be playing Jusant day one. Jose, did this interest you at all?
Climbing. I don't like heights, but so that's a no for me.
Dude, so, you know what's funny? You say that in Crackdown 3, which I still say is a good game. There, you know, where you're jumping from building to building. Sometimes I get like a little bit of vertigo and like motion sickness from up there. I'd like freak out from it on this giant TV. So,
all jokes aside, it does look beautiful. It looks cool. But
dude, for sure.
Like we said multiple times in our stream, because of my life and having a job and being a dad and like still loving games, I have to start cutting some stuff out. Like I just can't.
This is day one for me, boys.
I can't do that. So like Jusant falls in that category for me. It looks beautiful. I wish Don't Nod the best. I certainly want it to succeed, and maybe you'll sway me. You'll play it and be like, it was the best game I've ever played. But for right now, it's just like, cool, man. Thanks for being part of the show.
Bacon, you don't like this either?
No, I like it. It looks like something I can play with the volume down and do something else and just relax.
Listen to a podcast. It's the best.
And just, you know, veg out and just, I don't have to be too concerned that I'm missing dialogue or missing audio cues for something. It's just I'm climbing to get to the top of something, and art style is incredible. I mean, it looks super good.
So I've been highlighting games I'm gonna play. Like this is a stretch here where I've got 5 games highlighted that I'm definitely checking out day one. And this is the next one that I'm gonna check out. Still Wakes the Deep, coming out in 2024. This is the one that where you're stuck on that oil rig or something like that, and it was kind of spooky and over. I think Jose, did you like this one? Did this one interest you? I'm just gonna read
narrative horror. Like absolutely, I'm 100% in, but this is like right up my alley.
And what about you, Matt? Did you enjoy this one, or were you like,
No. I mean, don't get me wrong. It looked cool. I mean, but isn't it kind of just like a horror walking sim?
Yeah. So it's from the creators of Dear Esther, and everybody's gone to the Rapture. And I remember
everybody's gone to the Rapture is amazing.
I remember
Dear Esther was slow.
So everyone's gone to the Rapture. I hear that's amazing. I remember when that came out on PlayStation, I was like, man, I wish I could play it. I do believe it's on Xbox now. And so this Glaswegian oil rig worker must fight for his life through a visceral storm, claustrophobic surroundings, thick, dark, and perilous North Sea waters. All communications are cut off. All exits are gone. The only way to defeat horror aboard is to face it. Okay, so
it'd be interesting to see if there wasn't a combat or anything. Normally, their games have just been moving.
Okay, so that's what. So it says, climb, hide, and swim through tight warping corridors and the storm-lashed iron decks. Search for your crew and help them survive. Someone is trapped and in the galley, and another needs you to restore power. So it looks like you're right. I don't think there's going to be much combat, but there's going to be a lot of shimmying and platforming and climbing. I thought this looked really cool. I think the trailer could have been better, but to me, I was like, gave great vibes. So go ahead, Matt.
Did you guys play Resident Evil 7 Biohazard?
Oh yeah, of course. One of the greatest Resident Evils ever made. Yes.
When you're stalked by
the worst.
The wife.
Oh my gosh.
If that that was incredible. If this game can give you those type vibes. Of mechanics and vibes, then I think I'd be in. Like that feel like
it has to be
probably that's probably the scariest I've ever been in a video game.
Did you play Gone Home or
did you play Outlast?
No. Outlast. See, there you go.
Yeah.
Maybe
Outlast was similar to that. The only my complaint of that is I don't want it to be like Outlast in the sense that there is absolutely no way to fight the monster that's attacking you. I don't like that in games. I don't mind if it's just like stalking me and it's a story, that's fine. But in Outlast, the antagonist can actually hurt you and kill you, but there's no way to pick up weapons. There's no way to hurt it. I did not like that aspect because it just got boring after a while.
Boring.
Yeah.
Is Outlast have like a lot of puzzles and stuff to solve? Is that the game where you can actually get rid of the monster?
No, you're holding a camera and you're basically running.
You're running it
because there's a game where like
hiding.
There was like an update or something where you can actually like in accessibility or something take the monster out and just go through it solving the puzzles. I don't know if that was Outlast. There was a game that just recently I was reading about that. But
I think you should play Outlast, Matt, especially if it's on Game Pass.
It's a good streaming game for people to watch you play.
Yeah,
it's intense.
Really? Man. Oh yeah, really good for streaming. Yeah. Oh yeah. Bacon, any closing thoughts on the Still Wakes the Deep?
Well, early I was really excited about it, and I was thinking all Dead Spacey and stuff. But now that we've been talking and reading this, it's probably not going to be for me because I'm pretty sure we're not going to fight anything.
And scary.
You can find out on Game Pass.
There you go.
I'll wait for reviews.
The next one that we're going to talk about that I was super pumped for was Dungeons of Hinterberg, coming out in 2024. Game Pass day one. Armed with a sword and a tourist guide, explore the beautiful alpine village of Hinterberg and uncover the magic hidden within its dungeons. Master magic, solve puzzles, and slay monsters. All this and more await you in Hinterberg. And then it says, prepare to go on vacation in a modern-day village in the Austrian Alps, but instead of hiking or skiing, you'll be slaying monsters, getting loot, solving puzzles, and 25 magical dungeons have recently appeared around Hinterberg, and monsters slaying has become a major tourist attraction, drawing adventurers from all around the world to the small village. I love the art style of this game. A lot of people are like, oh, is this a Hi-Fi Rush thing? No, it is not. I love the different gameplay mechanics.
Snowboarding.
Bacon. This is day one for you, right?
Yep.
Matt?
Absolutely.
Maybe not day one, but it did look a lot of fun. Like I was like pleasantly surprised by Hi-Fi Rush, so this could be one of those.
Yeah. Jose, did you have any interest in this one, or is this making your cut?
Oh yeah. Puzzles, what? Puzzles and monsters, and like I love that there's a finite amount of dungeons that I know from the outset. I think that's great. It'll be a great ROG ally game for me to play, right? Like nice and easy to run on it, like a portable. Do you know what was the release date? Did we see that in the trailer? I was gonna ask.
It doesn't say. No, just 2024.
Okay, that's fine. No, I think it looks awesome. I'll definitely play it.
Next game, one of the best games I played in 2021, I want to say, after everything was completed. We had Keanu come out and talk about Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty. Again, that release date, you guys, September 26th this year. I'm sorry, I'm going to be in Starfield. I'm going to be in Starfield for a while. Sorry, Keanu. I love Cyberpunk. I will gladly go back and pay for this. Any quick reaction to this, boys? Who here has beaten the game?
I got the worst ending though.
Guys,
Matt, you're a Pan Am fan, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Love Pan Am.
So hot.
All of us, but
Pan Am for life.
Guys, this maybe we'll talk about this after, but this was my trailer of the show.
Really?
This was your best in show.
Okay, talk to us right
is
now.
it,
Why was
and
this your trailer
I
of the
am
show? Not
I have
Starfield?
listen, I bought an Xbox for Starfield, and I think I can play these both at the same time because I already have in my head that Starfield is probably going to take me about half a decade.
Yep.
It's probably going to take me about 500 hours.
They're going to sell it 6 different times to us.
And but Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, I have been waiting for this. This is my game of the show.
Whoa. All right, you heard it here first, folks. Jose, are you gonna buy this day one or wait?
So here's the thing. I probably won't buy it day one. I will buy it, but not day one because I bought the ultimate edition of Cyberpunk when it first came out.
Ooh.
So CD Projekt Red already has my money, and I love Cyberpunk. Don't get me wrong. I put a lot of hours into it. Thoroughly enjoyed the campaign. I do kind of one day want to go back to it and get a better ending because I didn't use any guides or anything, and I did get the worst ending by far. If you want to know off the screen, I'll tell you what it was. But I love Idris Elba. I love the setting, and I like the new market feature, and I like everything I've been hearing saying that they've changed a lot of things in the game that kind of turned it on its head.
It's completely
What's
different.
to hate about that? But they got Keanu back. That was a nice surprise for the showcase, right? And he even some of the interviews he did with Tina Amin and stuff, he was so pumped to talk about it. He absolutely loved the role. So I have nothing but praise for this, man. It'll be great.
This is the version to play though, too. I mean, this is like completely reworked. This is like the ultimate.
Yeah, but can you? But I know you can play this without playing the game. I remember that's a big deal. You don't have to complete the campaign.
No, this is. I want to say this is in the middle of the campaign.
Okay,
this pops up.
So I was going to say,
in the middle.
Like, can someone just jump into this without playing the game? You know, is it going to connect?
No, I think this is a mission. I want to say that this is a mission that pops up.
Okay,
maybe about 50% or so through the main story. Like if you already beat the game, like it seems like you're going back in time.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So
I'm excited. I'll buy it because I only paid. I remember I bought it when it was like $5 when Best Buy was trying to give them away. The physical.
God, I had this game pre-ordered for like a year and a half before.
That's awesome.
And I waited a year to play it.
Bacon, I can't take your opinion on this because you need to finish the game. So once you finish, you can come back.
No, don't. Bacon, don't finish the game. Start it over. When this comes out, start over, and then you can just transition so smoothly.
I believe I'm too far in. I'm already planning.
Yeah, he's pretty close.
Parade assassination. But I'm playing this thing on PC with path tracing.
Yeah, dude, those videos you showed me were amazing.
Myself just looking at stuff, and I've got to stop doing that. I think I need to fire it back up on the Xbox just to finish it.
It looks good on the Xbox too, man. I don't know.
Not even remotely close.
I know it's not your 4090, but it still looks good on console.
But again,
pretty
anything
impressive.
with Keanu, I'm in. I just watched John Wick Chapter 4 on Amazon, and my God, that guy is incredible.
Oh gosh! All right, we'll talk more about Cyberpunk later. I'm very excited for it. Next up, very quickly, I know none of us have played it. Probably City Skylines 2, 10/24/23 October again, coming out on Game Pass. I think this is a huge get for all those people. I hear nothing but good things about City Skylines. So congratulations to all of you Sim City fans out there. The next game, probably not one for us either, but again, important to be on Xbox's stage.
Phantasmo
Metaphor de Ferranzo, the new game from Atlas, from the original makers of the Persona series, a new IP, new game, big deal to be on the Xbox showcase. Anybody have anything to say this or I feel so
No, you
bad.
said it. It's a huge brand new IP
get.
and it's a big get.
It is a big get. I wish I cared more about Persona. I keep telling myself I'm going to play 5. It's on Game Pass. But then Matt reminds me that this is going to take me $100 just to do.
Do you really want to go back to high school, man?
Yes, he does.
You want it every day.
I think it's
all right. Well, then this game's for you.
The whole point of this is to sell consoles in Japan, and I'm sure it's doing that.
I hope so.
What I told Bacon was after the show, they were saying, I think it was a lot in Europe, to be fair, but Xbox sales were up like 1,000%.
It wasn't just like in France.
But dude, you can say what you want, but anything up 1,000% is impressive.
Not when you're selling 5. Let's move on to the next game, which was Towerborn 2024. This was another highlight of mine. This is another co-op. Looks like a hack and slash TMNT RPG kind of setting. Am I remembering correctly, Jose? I think you were excited for this one too. So,
well, because we both said
me.
in the stream, we were like, "How has no one ever done this? Where it's like a Turtles in Time, but like in the modern setting with modern hardware,
kind of like Diablo." Was there RPG elements? I'm trying to find it on this. On
probably.
Xbox
I don't
Squire.
remember. I'd have to watch the trailer again, but it did look cool, and I was like,
"Oh wait, sorry, I found it. It says from the people who made Banner Saga, packed fun with combat customization options and lore to be uncovered. Towerborn has something for everyone. You'll find yourself in the ruins of the City of Numbers with a lone tower keeping survivors safe from looming evil. You play as an ace, a hero destined to bring hope to humanity in a time of darkness. Multiplayer supports up to 4 players at a time, so join your friends and set off on your journey solo or with friends. Sorry. Either way, Towerborn is made with player choice in mind. Coming out in 2024 on Game Pass. Sorry, Jose. What we were saying? Why haven't we had a co-op TMNT like game in this kind of setting? Correct?
yeah, absolutely, man. It looked fun.
Bacon, is this day one for you?
It is finally time to have seen what Jez Corden's been talking about. This is Project Belfry. He's been talking about it well over a year. It is so good to finally see it. And yes, it will be day one. And I do see the TMT. Yes, the side just looks super duper dope.
Has anyone played Banner Saga?
I have not.
Nope. Okay, Matt, will you be checking this one out, or you're like, eh?
Listen, I'm seeing that you can do this 4 players, and I'm looking at 4 of us on the screen. So.
We gotta get through
right.
series first. We gotta get through series. I agree. The next one, and this might have been my game of the show because I was not ready for this. They close out the conference basically with In Exile's Clockwork Revolution coming out in due time. This trailer, we were all super excited. We saw some time-bending mechanics, first person, super cool setting. We got some BioShocky vibes in it. Bacon, take it away. You were so excited for this one as well.
It's just crazy to see In Exile go from Wasteland to something like this. That leap that they are taking for this game instantly deserves my respect, and I will definitely play it. The Wasteland games are cool as well, but it's just nothing to this level and this scope that looks like they're going with. And yes, BioShocky vibes and the time and the dudes wearing top hats everywhere. It looks crazy. I'd like to see a lot more of it, but we didn't get a day. That's next year, right?
Yes, so it
in
says
due time. In due time.
In due time, yeah, which I like. So we'll see. And it is sorry. So Clockwork Revolution is a time-bending steampunk action RPG. After stumbling across an incredible invention that allows you to travel into the past, you discover the city you call home, the vibrant steam-powered metropolis of Avalon, has been carefully crafted through the alteration of key historical events. By traveling back in time, your interactions and choices in the past will have a butterfly effect on the deep narrative-driven world and characters of Avalon, causing them to change and react in unprecedented ways. Again, I thought this was one of the best trailers of the show. Matt, are you interested in Clockwork Revolution?
Do I get points for mentioning In Exile and their Wasteland engine in my prediction? No.
Is that what you said?
I thought they were going to be making a tactics game for I thought they were going to be redoing a tactics game for Fallout, but I did mention In Exile. This game had me
0.25 points.
0.25 points. I'll take it. Listen, I am a huge BioShock Infinite fan. This gave me a lot of those vibes. At first, I was confused about who the main character might be, but then looking into it, you get to create your own character for this game. I am in bending time, creating my own character, creating my own worlds. This game looks beautiful. Can't wait.
Jose, what about you?
Oh, 100% in. Like I was in, we heard about this like 6 months ago. Remember there was like it was when we heard about Project Belfry, there was another one that we heard that was like In Exile's working on some steampunk game, and we were kind of like,
oh, cool.
We'll see. this was amazing, dude. Like, I agree totally with Matt about it. It reminds me of BioShock. It reminds me of Infinite. I love the setting. After one of the games I've been playing recently is also kind of in this area, and I was like, man, I just love this era. Like, I love the idea of steampunk, so I think this is great, but I got no complaints.
Absolutely. And Bacon, anything to add?
I went first. So.
Okay, just making sure if there's anything else you wanted to say. Shout out to N Exile. And then this is where Phil comes out, closes the show. Surprisingly, did any of us have hardware?
Well, Bacon said
hardware,
he said Elite Series 3 and a streaming stick. He said he did not say
0
this
is almost
points
like
for
a streaming
Bacon.
stick. The Series S.
Phil
Did anybody call the
announces-
Hexen t-shirt?
I said hardware.
I see. I don't know what Hexen is, so that means nothing to me. Sorry, Matt. So Phil announces the Series S 1 terabyte, $349. I don't know about the price. I think if they could have somehow swung this at $299 and maybe dropped the other one to $249, man, they'd be selling that Series S like hotcakes, especially with Starfield coming out. But then again, Starfield would take up more than probably half of your storage on.
It's the cheapest way to get those extra 50 gig or those extra 500.
That's a good point. That's a good point to
Fair
get the 500 gigs. That is the cheapest way. I think it's a smart console. I again, if they could have got it to $299, I'd be like, how could you choose that over or switch over that? But I guess kids like the portability. And then Phil says the one more thing is going to be the Starfield Direct. And we could talk for hours about this, but all I gotta say is I can't wait to play Starfield now, guys. And I'll close the conference with this, or I guess the talk about Starfield with this, or I guess start the Starfield conversation. What to you stood out most from everything that they showed at the conference that made you go, whoa, I cannot wait to play Starfield? And I will start first. For me, the thing that grabbed me where I was like, this looks incredible and I can see a huge improvement. I know this is going to be surprising, but I was concerned about the combat. I was like, I don't know about the shooting. I don't know about the jetpack. And then when they finally got, and this wasn't until basically towards the end of the whole
like 3/4 of the way through,
they showed some awesome heavy duty combat. The shooting looks amazing. It looks like it's impactful. I love the jetpack power because that reminds me, Jose, of Mass Effect Andromeda as well. People love to hate on that, but that had the best movement in all of the Mass Effect games. And I honestly felt like, wow, this looks way better than Fallout 4's shooting mechanics, which were passable, which were fine. And it looks much improved in every way. And then the other thing I would say is it just looks absolutely beautiful. This game looks, I know it's not like, as realistic, as crazy as like The Last of Us or Horizon, but it looks beautiful and stunning in its own way. So those two things really stood out to me. And of course, the Adoring Fan, but not many people know the Adoring Fan, but I'm a huge Oblivion fan, so that will stand out to me. So I'll throw it over to our guest, Matt. I don't even know. Are you still as hyped for Starfield as you were before? Are you more hyped, less hype, or what's the thing that stood out to you? Where like, wow, okay, I need to play this game right now.
More hyped. Absolutely more hyped. I will second that. Bethesda is not known for their shooting mechanics. I don't want to start a rumor, but did I read or hear that id Software helped
for graphics?
Some of these,
I think yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, in that interview,
it's just graphics.
It was. I think Todd said for graphics, but they had helped for shooting in Fallout 4. I believe is what they said.
Oh, okay. Because Fallout 4 was passable.
Exactly, and so that they learned from that and took it to another.
I don't think I've fired a gun in Fallout out of VATS in years.
I did.
I don't even think I bothered because those bullets are flying every single way except for where I want them to go. It was that first look at it last year. That shooting looked pretty bad. Like it just bad. And this looked better. Much better. So what took my breath away were those vistas, man. Like the way the game looked, it looked so much cleaner, so much more polished. It's just immense, beautiful, and gorgeous. And I cannot wait to get lost. I don't even know. Like, I'm excited for the story, but I will be lost in the stars. I cannot wait.
Oh, I can't. You know what's the first planet I'm going to, Jose? You remember the name of it?
The dance planet?
Oh, the sex
The
planet.
drugs and sex, but I think it's Aurora or something like that. You know, I'm just gonna hang out there. I'm not
like
going to talk
brothel
to
planet.
constellation people. I'm just gonna be dancing in the club, doing all kinds of crazy drugs over on that planet. But Jose, what stood out to you? And you're like, man, this is a must play. I cannot wait for September 6th. Game of this has been, guys, let's be real. If it delivers on all the stuff it shows, potential to be a game of generation, right? This does have potential to be a game of the year over Zelda somehow. So go ahead.
Oh yeah. I agree with you about the combat. That was something I definitely wanted to see, because as much as the 30 frames per second thing didn't bother me even way back when we saw the other trailer, I didn't care. I trust Bethesda, but I remember when I saw the first couple times you shot like a pirate, I was like, that didn't look very fun or good. And I got a little bit scared, because I think we had a lot riding on the show. But on a macro scale, to say something different, I think what really drew me to this was just the sheer magnitude of this entire game. And it was not any specific point in that showcase that I felt it. It was honestly at every new thing that they said. Like every time they're like, we're going to talk about ships, we're going to talk about planets, we're going to talk about character creation, we're going to talk about this. And every time I was like, oh my God, it's getting exponentially bigger, to the point where I'm like, I cannot wait to just get, like you said, Matt said, get lost in this game. And I think the one thing other than fighting that it weirdly made me so happy, because it was my favorite part of Fallout, was the like collecting stuff. I don't know why. I know it's stupid, but in Fallout,
pick up that glue.
I love picking up the duct tape and the bolts and the glue, because I remember the first time I played a Fallout 4, after like everyone recommended it, I was way late to the game. I had no clue, and I just picked up everything because I didn't know what I needed. And then I remember there was at some point 10 hours in where I knew exactly what I should pick up and what I shouldn't pick up. And I loved upgrading and my armor. Like I love that element in RPG stuff. And so this just has a massive potential to be just, I cannot wait, dude. I cannot wait to see what I can do with it. I just know the community is going to do some amazing stuff. Like I'm not really even into the shipbuilding stuff, even though I recognize it's cool, but I can't wait to start seeing the stuff on social media about this dude made a Gundam in it. This kid made the Razor's Crest in it. You know what I mean? Like I cannot wait to see that kind of stuff in it, man. So I'm pumped for sure.
Bacon, are you a believer in that all this is going to work, and that this is Bethesda's least buggy game ever, according to Matt Booty in that After Hours interview with Phil Spencer and Jeff Grubb? By the way, what's that other guy's name? He was, I didn't like the way
the other guy.
He was kind of cutting in and just you can tell Phil was like, dude, you need to relax. But anyway, go ahead, Bacon.
Hot take time. No delay is ever a bad delay. That showing from when we saw the first time we saw Starfield to this showing we just saw, wow, the polish, they cleaned it up. The fighting looks incredible. And Todd told someone that we haven't even begun to see what this game is capable of. Basically, through that 45-minute, whatever, hour-long show we watched, he says, we haven't even begun to see this game. And the crazy thing is, this game had a release date that was way earlier than the one that Xbox put on it when they acquired it, that November date. Way earlier than that. And we delayed it.
That's what Phil was saying in that interview.
I think they know the gravity of this game and what this means for the brand, what this means for, Game Pass and Xbox. And it's the #1 selling game on Steam instantly out of that conference. It's going to push consoles. It's going to push Game Pass subscriptions. It's going to sell. The modders are going to be, first playthrough is going to be normal for Achievos. And then I'm going to let the modders take over. I think I'm going to go around and just pile up dead bodies on every planet I go to, and then go back 5, 6, 7 days later and see if those bodies are still there, because that's how the creation engine works. Everything stays where it's left. Where you
got to tell Matt how you're storing your stuff in your Skyrim.
I heard that episode.
And I went back today. It's still there.
Like that. What are you thinking?
Right behind the vendor.
Did you buy a house? You've got to have money by now.
I don't have enough yet. I'm still.
And you can get a house right in Winterfell.
Get the Breeze home, man.
But yes, all my stuff is
Breeze house. Yeah, the Breeze home.
It is all still there. So that's how the creation engine works. Seeing the vistas and the Saturn style planets,
it's so beautiful.
The backdrop, landing where I want, going where I want, dinosaurs, the fauna, the flora. I mean, there's just, if this game lands 80% of what Todd promised us, game of the generation. It has got a high bar to clear to even come close to the best space RPG of all time.
Mass
but if
Effect.
it can get close, this is not a one and done game. This is a game you will play for a very, very long time, multiple playthroughs. It's just the sky is the limit. This thing needs to hit, and I'm so excited for it. I'm actually going to buy the $30 extra edition to get it early.
Did.
Yeah, I'm probably going to do that too.
Yeah,
Let's be real.
Is that the
Gotta
one
get
with the
that
patch
steelbook,
and the
baby.
steelbook, right?
Gotta get
Yeah,
the
steelbook and the patch, and then 5-day early access, I believe it is.
5 days early.
Absolutely.
Access, yeah.
There's a steelbook? Oh man,
I
Two
think
things.
Steelbook is.
Two things to add though that I thought were interesting. In one of the interviews I saw with Todd, I can't remember which one it was. I apologize. He said they've been playing a lot on the Series S. I thought that was really notable. Don't get me wrong. There's no way that it's going to play as good on the S as it does on the X, but I think it's very smart of them to say we need to test this on all our systems, especially if we're pushing this new Series S for $349 with the 1 terabyte. You know what I'm saying? Like that's notable that they're like, we need to make sure it runs well there, which is cool. The other thing,
1440p.
I hear you, but
30 FPS on
1440p
Series
is
S,
beautiful.
that's legit, man.
I know.
I that's how I play. 1440 is.
Me too. The only complaint I had about this whole show, believe it or not, was the collector edition. Not because the watch isn't cool. It's fine. I'm not gonna buy the watch.
What's wrong?
I wanted a statue, bud. I want like the robot as a statue. Like I know they have it because clearly in the videos on people's desks they had the robot.
But the watch is so functional. You're just mad because it's not an iWatch.
No,
That's
why-
fair.
An
how
Apple
would I be
Watch.
matched
That's
that? You called it an iWatch, bud.
Sorry,
Get
Apple
out of here.
Watch.
I'm just saying, like it's
Watch.
for the collector's edition. Like it's fine, but like how many people would really make that their daily driver? I don't think that many. It's a cool thing. It'd
people
be a
who-
cool
if
piece
it's a
in
really
the background.
amazing
The
watch.
case that it came in. I
I
was
did
more
actually
impressed
like
with the case.
Yeah, but I'm saying I
'cause
wish
I don't
You guys
need
are
another watch.
haters.
I don't need another watch.
someone out there in the 3D printing community. I need you to mock up that
There you
robot in Blender for me and put
What's
it in
the robot's name again? Oh, you said it. Bosco or something like that.
Vasco. I think with a V.
Vasco.
Is it with a V?
I
Can
think so.
can I just throw in a hot take because we talked about like the scope and scale and it looks absolutely incredible. But are we worried about that at the same time?
Yes.
Like, are we still worried about the procedurally generated dead planet where we just mine?
I don't care about that. I think people
Dan
are
loved
making a
Mass
big
Effect
deal.
too.
People are making a big deal about the planets being like, then don't go to them. Like it's as simple as that. Like if you want to go,
But he's
explore-
really
and then-
pushing those thousand.
I
planets
also
and
think
stars.
Todd's maybe not the smartest for saying some of that stuff, but maybe he's saying, yeah, maybe you'll find one of our Easter eggs there, but somebody's
That's
got
what I'm
to.
hoping
And
for.
you know
I
what,
love the
Matt?
Easter egg thing.
You
dude.
know
Like,
that
that's-
somebody will. You know that somebody's going to explore
Hey, man,
every one of those.
I got 1,000
dumbass
hours in
planets.
10 years. So why not?
And they're gonna. To me, I don't care as long as the planets that I have specific missions are
alive.
are alive and are curated well to that experience. I don't care. Like to me, like that was some of those parts I hated in Mass Effect, going to some of those stupid planets and it felt like a waste of time. So if you don't
those
have
are
to
those
go
are like
to them, that's fine.
people create. Those are people created worlds versus like generally
Generated, yeah.
generated worlds. And part of getting lost in games like this is being able to just go wherever. And that's like some of the appeal to me.
I hear you, but am I concerned? No, because if it can hit at like 75% for all of these things,
I
this
think you're
game will
absolutely
do
right.
this game's done more than any other game I've ever played, which would be incredible. So
You're right.
and I'm gonna hold off until it's in our hands. I think it's absurd. Like I think Jeff Grubb had a tweet where it's like it was like a meme and he's saying like me with all these people complaining about Starfield being too big and just like being over it, and I kind of feel the same way. Like we're complaining about a game potentially doing so much and we shouldn't be complaining. Like we only have to do or play what we want to play and have fun doing what we want to do. So I don't think we should be complaining for Starfield for being too ambitious, unless it's complete trash. Of course, if it's complete trash, then that would
It's
suck.
not
So
going to be trash.
It's not going to be trash. No.
I don't think so either. I think this game is going to be insane. So guys, that was the Xbox Game Showcase for 2023. I think it was a fantastic show. Again, I just wish I had the Call of Duty and the Final Fantasy in there just to be the show of dreams. But overall, we can't deny it was a fantastic showcase, a strong showing for Xbox, especially everything literally just from, you could have just showed me Starfield and I would have been like, whoa, this is absolutely insane. So, do we have to talk about this injunction thing?
It should go quick. Want me to run it down?
Go ahead. So news story number 2, quick news. Microsoft is I pulled this tweet from Derek Strickland over from Tweaktown. He said Microsoft is likely to abandon the $68.7 billion merger with Activision. Federal courts grant FTC's preliminary injunction request. So Bacon, take it away. What's going on with this thing?
Here's the
can't
thing:
do it anymore.
The CMA and the CAT Tribunal. CMA wanted to ask for not having expert witnesses. Microsoft fought to have expert witnesses. The judge granted expert witnesses. Then, following, Microsoft's been leaking out that they were going to close over both the FTC and the CMA. And they basically forced the FTC's hands to put this in front of a judge and not in August. Key thing being the July 18th deadline. Microsoft owes them $3 billion. Activision probably walks away $3 billion richer. So Microsoft forced their hands to get a preliminary injunction. This is the same judge that has thrown out the Sony Gamers lawsuit twice now. Landed back on her desk. She is going to rule on this, the Northern San Francisco district or whatever it is. So
if she says you get an injunction and delays it,
yes, it's dead.
Then it's dead. But if she says no,
right, we're gonna know pretty damn soon. This thing kicks off next Friday. We'll know probably sometime next week. Thing is, the CMA asked for, or the FTC asked for 2 days. Microsoft asked for 5. Judge gave us 5. So they're going to parade their billion-dollar lawyers in there and expert witnesses. They're going to show that 40 countries have already approved this. I don't see an injunction be in place, but I could be wrong. This Corley judge, she's actually fairly reasonable. And so basically Microsoft's getting their trial before that August date that the FTC, they've been trying to stall this thing out. Both agencies have been trying to stall this thing out to where either the Microsoft backers or the Activision backers back out. Microsoft's like, no, we're gonna complete this thing one way or the other. So this is absolutely fantastic news. Get it done, get it over with, close the deal. Let's make it happen. So
Bacon, did you get a call to be an expert witness? Because you are the most expert witness I can imagine.
Dude, I find myself in Twitter spaces. I listened to Florian Miller for like 2 hours the other day in a Twitter space, running all this down. He's having another one tomorrow. I know way too much about regulatory bodies.
Matt, do you have any interest in this? Like, are you just
save Blizzard?
That was a lot of jargon. I don't know what you guys just said. Wait, what's Activision Blizzard? What's
all right, moving on. The ABK deal news. Thanks for breaking that down for us, Bacon. So basically, hopefully next show, we will have.
Yeah, you guys like the 5 days. Like I do remember it being, or I read that it was 5 days. Like this, you should know.
Yep, it'll be ruled on pretty damn quick. So
let's pray it ends.
And then we'll close over the CMA and then fight them.
That's fine
in their trial, right?
You know what?
We'll just X them out.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, CMA or UK guys. The next quick story. I just want to say, season 4 of Halo Infinite is coming June 20th. There's a new trailer out. Unleash mayhem with a new 100 tier battle pass, maps, equipment, and there are 2 new maps, and infection mode is back. And I want to say to Bacon and Jose, there's a cool new piece of equipment called the Quantum Translocator. I don't know if you guys saw this, but basically you throw it out as far as I am understanding. Well, here's the description on Halo Waypoint. Once secured, the first button press activates the Quantum Translocator and creates a slip space thread at a location. After repositioning around the map, the second use of the QT will teleport the player back to that original location. However, upon teleporting, a new thread is created at the location the player just teleported from, and the thread they just teleported to, the original one, will disappear. And each subsequent use of the teleport, the player and update the destination slip space thread until the QT time has expired. Be mindful of when and where you use it, though, as there's a cooldown between uses, meaning you can't spam it, and you may even end up in a situation from which you cannot escape. So this looks super cool. It's kind of like doing a little portal, exactly. And I think one of the characters in Apex has something like this, right? Can other players use it? I don't know if that's possible, or if it's just the player who has the item. So Bacon, will you be jumping into Halo Infinite with me?
Yeah.
And we'll try to get Matt in there to play some for once.
Question is, can I bring the flag back with me through this portal? Because I hate capture the flag.
I mean,
I don't know.
that would be a game changer. Speaking of, I just played a game on my new PC, which ran excellent. I told you that, Bacon.
PC Master Race.
We were playing capture the flag and nobody scored, and we were so close at the end of overtime. It was literally, I brought it back so far, and then I got killed, and then nobody picked up the flag. I was so pissed. So Jose, I already know we'll be jumping in. We don't need to talk anymore about this. That has been the news for the week. Let's quickly do what have we been playing. Matt, I'll throw it over to you. I actually don't know what you've been playing. So anything new on your end?
Yeah, I've been playing Planet of Lana.
Oh, yes.
I'm about 3 hours in. I'm really digging it. At first, I mean, I don't think the puzzles or platforming is anything revolutionary.
No.
I think the puzzles are fairly simple, but I'm also digging.
Bacon took 2 hours on one of the puzzles.
Took the one in the cave. It took forever.
Was it the musical one?
Yes.
The musical one. I don't know if I got there. I don't want any spoilers since it's such a brand new
game.
I
thought you
I don't want to. Well, I don't want to give anything away to anyone listening if they haven't played it yet. But like I said, I'm about 3 hours in. Maybe one or two puzzles took me 10 minutes.
Shut up.
But other than that, it's like, it's the story being told through the sound and through like the atmosphere and just what you're discovering and the way that screen pans out to make you look like
and when
big
right at the beginning where you're in that big tree area and you jump onto the rock and then jump over, that's super cool.
It's I mean, everything about it's absolutely gorgeous. And I love like just the mystery and story that's being told. Like again, I don't want to give too much away, but it's just a fantastic game. So and it's clever. There's some of those puzzles, like I said, they're not hard, but they are clever and they're fun.
Any critiques though? You're saying it just mine was, I just wish there was more platforming and maybe a little bit more, maybe less.
Yeah. I
Or
hear you.
maybe
I
like
mean,
more combat encounters maybe would have been my complaint.
I don't think I need the combat. Like I'm comparing it to like Limbo, and
Yep.
and just like, being able to drag things and move things and like, using like Moi is kind of like your Moi. Like, they're kind of like your little combat guy when you can possess certain things and then like move and like you can move things around in the environment, to help you solve some of these puzzles. I think that's all I really need from it in combat. But yeah, like the platforming is simple. I'm not falling off ledges. The puzzles are fun.
Have you died, or are you going for the
thought-provoking.
achievement or trophy or no achievement, huh? Because it's only Xbox PC right now.
I mean, I found I found 4 of the like the wall paintings so far. And like I said, I'm about 3 hours in. I don't know if I've missed anything. Every puzzle or every wall painting or whatever they're called I found, they've all connected so far. So I think
there's a couple tricky ones. Like I fully admit I used the guide, and there's some I'm like, I would have never found that.
See, so if I miss them, I miss them. But I'm having, it's just beautiful, and it's after rolling credits on Wolfenstein, this is just something nice too.
It's a palate cleanser.
Sit back too. It's been a breath of fresh air. It's a great game.
I gotta ask everyone right now, speaking of rolling credits, do we like that term? I don't know if I like it. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm stuck.
Do you like
stuck
it,
with
Matt?
it.
As opposed to what?
I beat the game.
Completing, roll the credits.
Roll the credits.
What do
I
you
don't know.
say,
I've just been
Jose?
saying it.
I don't think about it because I don't care about it.
I've never heard you say rolled credits. I'm just gonna point it out right now.
I was about to say it today.
I roll credits.
All right, whatever. Jose, what have you been playing? What did you roll credits on?
So I rolled credits on Planet of Lana last week, and I loved it. I agree with Matt on a lot of the same stuff. Like it was just wait for the story, Matt. It gets so good at the end. Like
it's beautiful.
And even you talk about the panning out thing, there's something that happens at one point that God, it's beautiful. Very cool game. I even got to play a little bit with my daughter because they could do the basic platforming stuff, which was cool. They love the cat, obviously. Other than that, though, I did finally play the Lies of P demo. That was the game I was talking about with the clockwork stuff, and oh my God, it is gorgeous, dude. Like I know that it's not a first party studio, but that it's coming on Game Pass day one. Like, man, it was gorgeous. I will say it was very hard.
Matt?
Yeah, it was amazing.
I did also.
I cannot beat the first boss.
Nope.
The ringmaster guy. I have tried so many times.
Like, and so close. I've gotten so close.
I can get him to about a quarter life pretty steadily, and I just cannot finish that last piece of it. And today I looked up just a guide of like, am I missing something? And I realized there are 4 bosses in the demo. And I was like, oh my God, I can't even get past the first one. But it is a gorgeous, super cool take on the Pinocchio storyline. I'm super pumped to play the game. I obviously need to ramp up my skills or play on easy mode, which is probably what I'll do. No shame. And then the other thing, I have been playing a ton of Diablo. I'm a 46, 45, I think, right now. Still my Necromancer build. I've had a couple days out because we were camping, so I got to make up that time. But just having a great time, man. And I've had to respect my guy because of this boss I was playing, and it's actually amazing. Like, I just love the fact that I can respec for basically nothing. I think that's an amazing part of that game. And the other thing, because of the Ally, when I was on my trip, I downloaded a bunch of ROMs, like emulators, and I was playing Super Mario World 2, the 6 golden coins on Game Boy. It was like one of my favorite games as a kid. It was amazing, dude. It worked so well. It ate up like no battery life. Even my wife and my kids were like, "What are you playing over there?" It was really, really rad, man. So it's been a great summer of gaming. Super happy, man. Can't complain.
Bacon, what about you?
I officially rolled the credits on Diablo, and I am in endgame. I did not anticipate getting sucked into the end game like I am.
You are, man.
It's
You
gonna be a time suck.
Ooh, gosh.
And then just because that's been taking up all my time, and then all my free time has been on the Ally. I was playing Diablo using my phone as a hotspot at work, doing dungeons on the Ally. So cool. But just to kind of dick around with this thing, I started messing around with cloud on it at home on my Wi-Fi, and I was playing Battlefield 2042, and it almost felt native. Problem is, there's a lot of stuff going on, and having it on that little screen, it's zooming in and ADS, and I was still getting plenty of kills, but so I did that. I did Mortal Kombat on the Ally on cloud, and I've just been playing Skyrim offline at work. Like, this Ally is pretty bad. It's a bad little boy. So I'll just use it to be my kind of just mess around thing, and then my main gaming will be done on my rig. But it's Ally is definitely worth it. We got to figure the battery situation out a little bit, but it's worth it. It's going to take a extra battery bank to carry around with you, but it does everything. And I'm gonna have to talk to you about getting some ROMs, because I'm gonna have to get some Mario on here.
Yeah, I downloaded an SNES one too. I
Did you?
downloaded a couple games there too. It was cool.
I'm just worried my ISP is gonna be like, whoa, why are you downloading illegal stuff? And so
I think I have also been playing Diablo 4. Again, I can only really, I really like just playing this game with friends. Like, when I'm just going around by myself, it's almost, the world is massive, and I almost feel like overwhelmed, especially finding all the parts and all the fogged up areas on the map, and then listening to Bacon and Deja Vu, and who else was in our party last night?
Yeah,
his brother. They're like talking about stuff. I'm like, I have no idea what these guys are talking. This is overwhelming, and they're like level 70 somethings and everything. And I like it, but I'm realizing, I'm like, I don't know if I should have spent the $100.
You need to progress the story, because you're basically just walking around doing nothing. The story gets really, really good, and if you're gonna wait for all your boys to be there, you're never gonna get through it. That final cutscene in that game.
What's
maybe
your level,
the
Dan?
best Dan's level?
I'm 45.
Yeah, and he's still in Act 1.
What?
Yes,
we are. So we all are still in Act 1.
Jose's not.
I'm in Act 3, bud.
Yeah,
I thought you saw the cutscenes where you're like, you hadn't seen it before.
No, I saw all those before. That's why I kept pushing you forward on the map. You were like, how'd you get there so fast? Because I was just beaming to the next city for you.
Me and Alan was under the impression that you hadn't seen those ones that we were
absolutely.
watching.
I've seen all of them. I was eating snacks while you were doing those.
Come back and help your friends later. Come back and help pack and stuff when you're done with it, Dan. But just to be bumping around Act 1 at level 45, you should just go through the main, just get it done.
I don't know. My relationship with Diablo, and I'm realizing it's the same when 3 is like, it's just a co-op game to me, and that nothing more. Like, I'm not going to do the power leveling. I'm not going to be doing like season stuff, and like, I don't know. We don't need to talk about it. I did want to say again, Atomic Heart, I do think is worth all of your guys' times if you're a fan of those kinds of games. I'm going to give it a generous 3 out of 5. Right now, it was better than I thought it was going to be, and I have to give it credit. So But I'm kind of in a lull right now. I don't know what I'm going to play next. I'm contemplating, do I play Last of Us Part 2? Do I play Batman, or sorry,
The Gotham Knights, bud.
Gotham Knights. Sorry. Do I play Star Wars? I don't know. I'm kind of.
These are all games that you've never played yet.
Correct.
So you never played Last of Us Part 2.
Correct. I had no desire to, but I already know everything that happens in that.
And Star Wars is, I'm assuming, Survivor.
I played the first one. Yeah, sorry, Jedi Survivor. I got 1,000 on the first one. I was waiting for them to patch this out.
You played Fallen Order, not Survivor.
Or am I going to go play Fallout 4? But no, sorry. Go ahead, Matt. What do you?
No, I mean, I'm gonna tell you, any day to please play The Last of Us Part 2. But Survivor is fresh and
you should play.
It's a good game.
I think maybe I will. I don't know. Or really Demon Souls or Bloodborne. I still have those on my list, but I'm like, do I need to? I don't know.
Didn't you just play Sekiro?
I just played exactly like that's exactly. I'm like, I need to wait. I need to.
You know what? I don't know if Jedi Survivor is truly giving yourself a break, but at least you can turn the difficulty down if things start to spike.
Yeah,
he won't do that.
But you should play that Liza P demo and make sure that I'm just bad at the game.
No, you're right.
Like here's the thing with the Liza P demo. I couldn't get past that first boss, but then when I kept going back to that the Stargazer, I was like, oh, what do I do if I press this button? I'm like,
yeah, what does happen?
You can upgrade. You could upgrade your health and stuff. I didn't know you can do that.
Oh my god!
You guys are a bunch of noobs over here, guys. Let's close the show like we always do with the best food we had this week. I'm just gonna give a shout out to Allie. We had a great barbecue chicken birthday party. Everything was fantastic. I loved all the food there. Got wasted on those White Claws, but I also want to shout out again. Just had it tonight, you guys. Olive Garden. That chicken and shrimp carbonara takeout. My gosh, it was absolutely fantastic. Huge shout out to the OG Bacon. What was the best food you had this week?
On the rush home from work to get here for this podcast, I got a double core pounder with cheese.
Ooh, love it.
Might start tracking those.
Jose, what about you?
Believe it or not, finally got out. And went and got a spicy chicken sandwich, which was absolutely delightful at Park Meadows, actually. And the other thing was when we were at that camping thing, Jellystone, it was just cool because we're sitting in basically what feels like the mountains and grilling out on a patio and had like burgers and dogs and stuff. So those were the best things.
Always good. And Matt, what was the best food you had this week?
The other night, speaking of dogs, I grilled these foot-long Wagyu beef hot dogs.
Holy
on pretzel buns.
Whoa.
And
saucy.
Let me tell you, they were $17.99 a pound.
Dude,
it was worth it. Every damn penny. They were amazing.
Matt, holy crap.
I've never seen any. We have a local butcher, and this was brand new. Never saw it before. I'll take 3. Cost me almost $20, and
that sounds awesome.
That's incredible.
Amazing. Pretty amazing.
See, we don't have stuff like that in Colorado, do we, guys?
We have butchers.
Do we?
Butchers.
We're all King Supers and Safeway.
There's one on Dry Creek and like Holly.
Well, I got to find these massive hot dogs. I need some man meat, Jose.
Dan's never seen anything that big in his life.
Said.
Pause. Jose, you don't have the man meat clip?
Oh, I didn't. Sorry, I didn't know you wanted to play the
man
meat.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Who wants some man meat?
I do. I want some man meat. Michael, the white would like your man meat.
Well, then my man meat he shall have.
Gentlemen, this has been the Nerd Chat episode 111. We went over the Xbox Game Showcase and we had a blast. Actually, wait, we never said who was the winner.
Well, if you gave Matt that 0.25, he's the winner because we all got 1, and then you gave him that 0.25. Like he's at 1.25. He's the winner.
Bold predictions, boys.
Taking the crown from the PS Game Showcase and the Xbox Showcase. Our winner with 1 point each, basically each round. Matt Kennedy has gone back to back this year with 2 points, I believe, and 1.25 out of 5. Congratulations to Matt. My name is Daddy Diwali. You can follow me at Daddy Diwali across all social media. You can follow the show at the Nerd Chat Podcast on all socials. Jose, where can people find you?
Find me on Chipotle_bear on Twitter, Chipotle Bear on Twitch and Instagram. Shout out to everybody that stopped by today. I know we were a little bit extra long, and again, we were one day late because of my camping trip this week, but we'll be back to regular schedule next week. Thank you for the follows. If you hear this and you want to give us a like or, of course, a review on podcast services, that would be awesome too. But other than that, thank you for listening, and we'll see you guys online.
And Bacon, where can people find you?
You might find me in San Francisco in the FTC trial. I might take some vacation and head on out there. Might just head on out there. But you can find me on Twitter at XBaconGaming.
He is deep in the Twitter streets, folks. And thank you again to our special guests for coming back to back and sweeping us, just like the Nuggets should have swept everyone in the playoffs, taking home the crown. Thank you, Matt Kennedy, for joining us. Where can people find you?
I'm MT Kennedy 7 on Twitter and MKen10 on Twitch, PlayStation Network, and Xbox.
As always, Starfield fans, see you in the stars and see you online.
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 I swear I've seen a lot of stuff in my life, but that was awesome. But sorry about your car, man.
The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast, is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. The show was created by Daniel Walenzik, and you can follow him at Daddy D. Wally across all social media. The assistant to the co-host is Jose Martinez, and you can follow him at Chipotle_bear. The assistant to the co-host is Chance Siegel, and you can follow him at BubbleBoyN7. The intern to the assistant to the co-hosts is Jason Jarrett, and you can follow him at XBaconGaming. You can also follow the show at The Nerd Chat across all social media. And if you'd like to find out more about the show, visit nerdchatmedia.com.